not too concerned. I'm just gonna try to keep paint out of all of my orifices. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint this engine just so it doesn't keep rusting or look like crap after all this hard work. I'm gonna go with the Ford Blue. Normally this engine is traditionally black on silver. I just thought of changing it up since all the engine bay now is completely black. I figured it wouldn't look good also black. So why not blue? I mean, who cares? This top's still gonna be a silver. I have some more gunmetal darker that I'm gonna do for this, but that'll be later on. I want to get the engine block done. And so now we're just on to taping. It's a pain because none of the tape sticks as the metal is cold and has oil on it. And who knows what else. My plan is to get this taped off, hit it with some of that blue engine paint. Even this backside, come on. Whatever doesn't get masked, I'll probably just end up repainting it. Like if I get some paint on this head, I'll just touch it up. I think it's be easier to do that than it would be to touch up the engine block, or at least I'm thinking. And I'm just gonna try to keep paint out of all of my orifices. Let's see, let's put this back on. I'm actually going to rotate it upside down. Kind of weird to paint it, but I'm doing that so I can get the oil pan completely covered. I don't want to miss any spots. And this is the moment of truth if anything falls out. That way I can get a good coat on here since this is very raw. And then that'll set me up just to have the bag placed around that. Yeah, something like that. I'm gonna call that good. I saw this online, so I'm not revolutionizing anything. Taking earplugs, and we're gonna put them in the holes we don't want paint. And then when we're done, we just pull them out. So now we're gonna put this outside. I'm going to be using, like I said, I think this is Ford Blue. Thought I said it somewhere. High temp. So let's get this outside. Make the turn. We are out here in my paint booth. And I'm just going to shake it up. So I was gonna try to think of what to do while we're waiting for the paint to dry, and I'm thinking we're gonna wrap the header. I bought some of that insulation stuff, header wrap, to help with some of the heat. So I want to wrap that, plus it looks cool, right? So I got just some random generic wrap. Please wear gloves while doing this. I did not at one time. And it was super uncomfortable. It was all in my hands, my fingers, my whatever. So I'm definitely wearing gloves. So we're gonna get prepped for that. So I think my goal, as you can see, this isn't painted or anything. I'll probably end up taking it off and getting it ceramic coated. So I just have it clamped to the workbench. That way it doesn't want to move. And hopefully I can wrap it pretty well. So this is Island Engineering's long tube race header. $600. It's not too bad. The welds all look decent enough. And it comes with a good amount. So it gets... obviously you get a... take this off just in case. You get a header. You get the down tube to a collection, which just saw. So then it goes down to this flange and it slips over, so you can kind of do whatever, bolt whatever you want to it, which is cool, or stock, I believe. Also, it comes with all the hardware. So like your brackets for on the transmission, there's a transmission bracket that this bolts to originally, and it also comes with one. So I like that about it as well, just because mine was in not the best shape. And so it was kind of cool. Nice to like a package deal. You get all of it together and you don't have to worry. Let's set these out. And then, actually, I might just see what the instructions said. Definitely wear gloves. But I wonder if it's going to tell me to start at the top or the bottom. I doubt those are that in-depth of instructions. But let's see. Step on measure exhaust to the collector to the flange. Use the chart below to determine the length needed to cut each section of pipe. Wow. And we need 38 inches per foot. Wow, this might be more scientific than I expected. Interesting. Also, I believe these are all the same length headers. See, so if we go, there's 1 foot, 2 feet, and some change. So by that, we need 60, 80 inches. How much is 80 inches? Let's see. Maybe I didn't get enough. Let's see how this works. We'll test this interesting math they did. Maybe I need a little less. Well, now I don't know if I'll have enough to do the whole thing. Be crazy. To wrap up to the exhaust flange and secure with locking ties or clamps. Instructions: wet the wrap by water. Interesting. So we're going to wet it by water as well? Probably to keep down all the... I know why. Fiberglass is in the air, and I've already ripped one glove. So we're going to double glove. Okay, how many people knew that you would soak this before using it? I did not. Okay, I'm guessing, well, probably 100% positive, it's like this because the fiberglass will blow around. So, I get it. It makes sense. So, I should have got the 1 inch now looking at this because this 2 inch might be a little too wide. Also, I'm feeling like I can get a little tighter actually with it wet. So that also might be a reason. So I'm gonna go a couple, it's saying, about a 1/4 inch overlap. And I just got my first couple starts rolls. And then what I'm going to do is once I get it kind of where it'll hold itself, we'll get that metal, I would call it metal zip tie, but it's not. We'll get that on there. So that is pretty secure. And we have these metal bands. See what I'm doing? Looking for the metal bands. There it goes. So it's not really wanting to tighten up on me. All right, cut it. Now it's just getting it through all these curves. Wow. Wow. Worked. Done. So we got one done. I'm actually fairly happy with it. Kind of pulled up here, but I think for the most part, we're moving on to the next one. So I'm going to do the other two real quick. The only thing I was finding that worked really well is when these, just imagine when they go inside of each other, I'm grabbing it with my needle nose and then I'm twisting it and it's pulling it and it's also putting that sharp edge underneath. So it's actually tightening it up really nicely by doing that. So I'm going to continue that. And yeah, I never knew wetting it was a thing. So that was kind of interesting. So yeah, it says one roll could do this 4-cylinder engine. So we'll see. Okay, so we're done. I can go to the extent of wrapping the rest of it. I might, just because I know this is right under the passenger. I'm not obviously going to do it where it bolts together, but I made the mistake and these come longer and shorter, and I happen to use all the long ones on the short tubes and the short ones on the long tubes. So I actually don't have enough of these to finish wrapping it. I would have just done a basic around both pipes, just like that, just to kind of get it done, because I don't think I need to wrap individual ones, but that is not the case because I ran out of ties. I am going to tell you that wetting it actually was super convenient. I think it was a little more malleable and you could really pull and tighten it down. I've noticed last time I've done this, I did not wet it and it was really hard to get it nice and tight like I did. Wetting it, you're just able to mold it around there, which is cool. I try to cut off all the little hairs that are left over. I found some more just from where the fiberglass has unraveled slightly at the ends. No, I'm super happy with this. Let me get this off the clamps. Let's give you a quick rundown. There is the manifold. All of it wrapped up nicely. I think it looks cool. So hopefully this helps with a little bit of heat in the engine bay. I don't see why it wouldn't, but now we got that all together. We got the collector down there. I just wrapped one more piece around the whole thing to encase it. Not that necessary, but I didn't see why not. So we'll let this dry and get it on the engine whenever it's needed or when it's time. There's our exhaust manifold wrap done.
Don't forget to wear gloves.